I'm Jeremy Dion, and I serve along with my wife Caroline and 4 children here in the bush of Papua New Guinea. And I'm delighted to be able to share with you today some of the things that the Lord used to lead me to full-time missionary service. Of course, it begins with the Lord working in my heart as a young child to draw me to Himself. And I was saved at the age of 9. And I had the privilege of growing up in a Christian family, and what a blessing that is. The next distinct memory I have in the Lord's leading is as a 5th grader, I was part of a youth program at church, and we were portraying the life of a missionary. I don't even remember which missionary it was, but I do remember at the end of that presentation, we sang the words to David Livingstone's song, "Lord, Send Me Anywhere." And I remember sitting down in my seat and realizing I sang the song, but I'm not willing. See, I felt afraid that if I told the Lord I would do anything, go anywhere, that He would make my life miserable. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing further from the truth. And so it was at that moment in my seat that I told the Lord, all right, I'm willing. And one of the things I remember the Lord using greatly in my life was missionary presentations. Time after time, I would hear the stories, I would see the pictures, and I would hear of the need. And I began to realize that if I was going to take our Lord's words in Matthew 28 seriously, I needed to try to go. And if the Lord stopped me, if the Lord closed those doors, then I would be willing to do something else. But I needed to make that attempt. And so I just kept taking the next step and kept submitting. When I reached college, the Lord led me to major in missions so I could be better prepared for what the Lord was specifically calling me to do. And then after that, I finished up some additional Bible training with a master's in Bible. And in the meantime, Caroline and I were married. And as a young couple, I remember we received some very wise counsel that was extremely helpful. And that was to be careful not to get too tied down to things in normal daily living. Not to even buy a house, but to always be ready and available for the Lord to lead us to the next step. And so, by God's grace, as we continued to do that, the Lord confirmed where He wanted us to work, what He wanted us to do, and He led each step of the way. And I just want to share with you that there is no greater delight than to know that you're in the exact place doing exactly what the Lord wants you to be doing. And if the Lord leads you to the mission field, there is no greater joy than to be giving the gospel and attempting by God's grace to live the gospel in front of a very darkened and needy people.